Hi, Nero here, and I'm going to do my best to teach you how to cut miters on cornices. I'm just taking measurements and telling me if it's external, internal, or both external or both internals. So I go all around the wall. Perfect example here because there's that many of them. It can be quite tricky, but I'll do my best. There I've got the, that's the longest length in this case, which is 1286. I measure everything in millimeters, and there's my measurements there. Said internal, external, internal, external. So it gives me an idea when to cut them. There's the miter box. You can see it's in 45 degrees, one way and the other. And it doesn't matter which way you cut it, you always have the cornice upside down. So whichever way the cornice sits on the actual wall, you flip it upside down. So at the moment I'm cutting an internal right hand miter, and the other side would be an external left hand miter. But in the meantime I'm cutting the longest length, which are both internal miters. So that's my internal right. I'm just making the measurement, which is 1286 millimeters, 1286 millimeters. Marking it at the other end, and that is my internal left. Don't forget that miter is upside down. Just to explain, that's how I cut it. That's how it goes on the wall, but I cut it like that, upside down on the miter box. And then you flip it over, and that's how you'll hang it afterwards. There's my board again. So I cut the first one, 1285, both internal. Next one is the 265, both externals. So we have an external one there. You can see that's external. That'll be the external right. So now I measure from the wall line, or the external line of the wall. And my hand's in the way. Hopefully I get it out. There you go. From that point to the other is 265 millimeters. And I make sure to remind me that's another external. So we're cutting two externals. So that is your ceiling, and that's your wall. That's for the ceiling, and that's for the wall. You see how it's upside down? Okay, now put the corners back in the miter box, and you cut the other external. Go and get that hand out of the way so I can show people. And there you have two externals for that measurement. Flip it up over the other way, and that's how it'll sit when you glue it to the wall and ceiling. I'm just adjusting the camera. This is again a real job. I show you what I do on real jobs, and there you have it. That's for that part there. Put that down, ready for the next one. Hope I'm not losing you. Just bear with me. This is a long video. You can stop, start, grab a coffee, go to the bathroom, have a break. You can always come back to this. You might need to watch it a few times just to get it, or take it with you if you ever do it, and just do it step by step. I just want to give you examples of all the different miters. If you just got a square room, you're just all internal angles. Easy. Okay, so I'm cutting up another length. I'm just showing there it's another external. And I'm going to cut now an external right. just adjusting the camera so you can see clearly what I'm doing. It's as if you can see what I see. So that offcut, that's an offcut, you just throw that out. And that's an external right. Another method I use, I just see the end of the miter box, I just put the end of the cornice there and measure out. That's I measure out 260 millimeters, and that's another external. So just to remind me, I just put a pencil mark. There you go, there's the 260, both externals. Just to remind me, I put a little line there so I know which way the saw needs to face or in the direction. And now I am cutting the other external, which be the external left. And you see the other cornice, not the one I'm holding, the one still in the miter box, that will be an internal right. Anyway, back to the job. I adjusted the camera so I'm walking around just to give you an idea of what I'm doing. I normally don't do this, I'll cut them all because I've got the whole list, but I just want to show you step by step as to how it all works. So I just lay that there, come back and show you my measurement board again with all my measurements. So I've done the top three so far. It's a good idea to cross them out. Now the next one is the 230 millimeters, internal left and external right. You see that? Internal left and external right. We'll zip around. Now this is tricky. So we've got an internal. That's an internal right. So that might not work. So what I've got to do there is I'm thinking about it. That is an internal right. So I'm going to cut the external right first. As you see, the position of that is you either get an external right where my thumb is, that's an external right. If I was to cut and keep the cornice, that offcut, that'll be an internal left. Make it myself clear. So we've got an external, now we need the internal, which is the internal left. Again, I put the cornice on the edge of that miter box to measure out 230 millimeters. There's the mark there, and I want an internal. See, the internal is the same angle as the other one. So we've got an external and internal. This all takes practice. You don't expect to get this straight away, but if you do attempt to hang cornices and do all these miters, just have a think about it, double check. So I come up and double check. Looks good. Yep, put that back or put that down. Just to